Hi, Genki Call here with Urskaya week for the week of June 5th, 2023. I am going to keep things as short as possible for this video because of time constraints on my part. I hope to give you more info later, but pardon, life has been a bit crazy for me lately. So let's get right down to it for campaign. Match 1,000 brown gems, win 40 battles, and kill 75 brown enemies. Super easy, you don't have to go out of your way for that. As far as the class trial goes, near it's not so bad. They've changed the lineup as of reset. This is a new lineup. And I think that the order that they put it in is absolutely fine. If you move these, then this guy's going to be mana blocked. So I think this is a great order, unless you want to move Baba Yaga here, because it's the safest place on the team, and she is a summoner. But yeah, I think that the way they have it's just fine. Haven't tried it, no time. So as far as Urskaya goes, first let's head into the shop, grab the resources, spoils of war, get all 10 of these if you can. It's a fantastic deal for 10 event keys and a few other little things. And then head over to weekly event and grab the new troop, the Iron Vlasta. Iron Vlasta is going to do damage to an enemy, and if your troop has taken any damage, Enrage Myself and Gain Barrier also becomes enraged when an enemy dies. So 25% skull damage reduction. He's not a terrible troop. He's not a fantastic troop, but he's not a terrible troop. I have to cough. Hold on. Anyway, I recommend that you get this up to mythic level if you have the resources for it, because it's a guaranteed level 20 trip for when you need it for your power level, and the sooner you start collecting for your power levels, the better, in my opinion, because having high power levels makes everything better in this game. Also, you get all those other resources and those trait stones, those arcanes that are so hard to get. Next up, I'm going to head in here. I'm not going to go over every single troop like I usually do. I'm just going to go over the most notable of these. Base rarity. So, Doomclaw is generally considered to be, he's considered to be okay. He can double devour. It is possible. He's not, you can't really depend on him, but it's awfully nice when he starts devouring. He's not as good as Pycea, but, I crafted him because I needed him for my power level, and I don't regret it. And I've actually had fun with him the couple of times I've used him, but in general, it's not recommended that you craft this guy unless you need him for power level. And remember, there are a bunch of good things coming up in the Soul Forge. Let me show you. Hold on just a second. Alright, so this is King Ollie's amazing list of remaining Soulforge mythics. Ironhawk is still in here. That's a big one. The Wild King. There are some really good things in here. If you have a limited amount of diamonds, you might want to wait for one of these to come along, because it's really no fun to have something you really want come along when you don't have any diamonds. So keep this list in mind. I'll add a link to this in the description below. And coming on back to the game and going over a few more things here. So Kurandara is here. He does damage to an enemy boosted by Doom Skulls. Each Doom Skull on the board is going to do an additional 10 damage just from the spell. And then you're going to convert yellow gems to Doom Skulls and conjure a Doom Skull Storm. 50% chance to curse all enemies when matching 4+ gems, and bonus red mana from red gem matches. You will not be able to get Enraged Kurandara. You must craft any bosses. Anything with a red border has to be crafted in the Soul Forge only. But these guys are available with your event keys. Anything from Werewood's not available. You have to get those from the Underworld. King Mikhail, he's a good one. He does damage to all enemies. He gets a little mana gen, and he gets enraged on match, or whenever you match brown gems. And Urskaya is notable because her spell isn't that great. I mean, it's not a lot of scatter damage, but she does give all Urskaya allies a 50% mana start, And she does enrage all allies. So that enrage is really great, of course, if you're doing skull spamming. So between the enrage and the 50% mana start, she can be a good one to have. Up to you if you want to spend all of your resources on her. Next up for legendaries, we have Ursuvius. He does damage to all enemies, once again boosted by burning and enraged allies and enemies with a ×2 boost ratio and a 50% chance to burn a random enemy at the start of every turn, with a 50% skull damage reduction. And he enrages himself when he takes damage. This is one of the ones that you just saw in the class trial, and the one I recommend leaving at the front of the team. Berengari, I'm going to go over this one simply because we will be using him for raid boss on Friday. This is our God Slayer with that 3 to 5 times damage to bosses. And you're going to need this on Friday. If you can get him up to mythic level, mo better. I just said mo better. I got that from my grandma. Goodness gracious. That's even better because, if you have it at mythic level, you'll get the 5 times damage with your spell and with the skull damage if you happen to have him up front. So besides that, let me just do this. Get my power level up here. Yay, I love getting my power levels up. Come on. Come on. You're so slow. There we go. All right, and can't get this. Yaga's hut is significant because it is the Baba Yaga's summons, and it actually does triple damage if the enemy is silenced. I always forget about this thing. That's a lot of damage. Other than that, let's see. Vajanoi is going to do triple damage to the enemy if they use blue mana. And Domovoy is actually not a bad healer, especially if you're early in the game, you don't have the better healers. He's not bad at all. He's the only healer I used for ages, but that's neither here nor there. Anyway, that's all I'm going to go over for the troops at this time. There's my power level! Yay! Ah, awesome. I love that. Oh, gotta get a pet leveled up. Man. Alright. What next? So, as far as events go, all Urskaya troops get plus 10% to their skills, and all Urska get 10%, plus 10%, so anything from Urskaya that is in Urska will get plus 20%, and if you use the new guy in PvP or Explore, you'll get an extra 400 gold per battle. And let's see. Yes, Cantor is still the only mythic in the drop table except for event keys. Every other key, it's the only mythic that you can get this week through reset on Friday, for people on my side of the world. We're going to go over the world event scoring in just a bit. On this week, we have tomorrow, the faction assault is Werewoods, where the I love my visuals. Your pure faction team does not matter at all because everything has a chance to transform every time you cast it, every single time. So whatever you start out with, you're not going to keep it. It's going to transform and you're going to end up with a weird team and it's just a nightmare. Blech. All right, going back in here. On Wednesday, we have Snowball as the pet rescue. On Thursday, we have Sentinel class trial. Sentinel is very significant. You're going to want to do this class trial if you don't have the class weapon yet. The class weapon is the Shield of Urskaya. 250 wins. You get this for free, just for 250 wins. It's a fantastic weapon. Absolutely recommended you do that. And then on this weekend, we have, as I mentioned, Raid Boss. Raid Boss should be showing here. Yep, right here. As far as the world event goes, it's very easy on the scoring. First of all, the medals and badges are going to be boosting spells and skull damage, which is super, super nice. But as far as the scoring goes, let me grab it for you here. It is right here. It's simply rarity order. However, even though it's rarity order, Yeah. Even though it's rarity order, you're not going to see the highest rarity battles until you finish 30 battles. So, since you get extra points for every subsequent battle that you do, every harder battle will give you extra points. So, it does scale, and it's up to you how you want to pursue that, but 64 points for a single battle is awfully nice. Yay! Ah, and I haven't looked at the teams, but Georgia tells me that you can use Gobtraffle, you can use Beatrix, Sycorax, Pycea. There are some good teams in here that you can use. I hope to be able to get you um, I hope to be able to get you some teams this week. I don't know when I can do it. I have appointment early today, have an appointment tomorrow. It's just crazy for me right now. So let me see. What am I forgetting? Uh, Campaign, world event, went over the scoring. I think I think that's everything this week. Anyway, my apologies if I've forgotten anything. I will get you more information as soon as I can. I do want to mention two things in the Soul Forge because there are two hidden things here in the Soul Forge you may not be aware of that you might want to try for. It's gambling, but yeah, there are two here. One is Fists of Zorn. If you don't already have her, she's an empowered troop that creates skulls. Excellent, excellent troop to have. Also, Sibelius is actually quite good as well. So if you accidentally get Sibelius along the way, it's not going to hurt anything. I like this troop. But I wouldn't spend gems for this troop. I would spend gems for this one. The other one that is significant here is Tricknala. This is a fantastic troop. If somehow you missed her when she was in the glory shop, grab this troop. Unless you don't like skull spamming, but she's super, super useful. So, anyway, you can always use her on your Guild Wars defense teams. So, you don't actually have to use her yourself. But those are the things that I wanted to point out for the moment. I will bring you more as soon as I can. Please like and subscribe, and we'll see you soon. Bye bye!